Happy Sabbath, everyone.
Happy Sabbath, Sister Rachel.
Happy Sabbath, my babies.
All right, so how has you guys' week been so far? Well, yeah.
Good. Good.
That's good.
I'm glad.
Good.
Oh, is that Zion?
Yes.
Hey, Zion, how you doing?
Good.
That's good. All right, so we're just gonna hop right into it. So last week, I just want to recap last week. So basically, we talked about how Abraham pleaded for Sodom, right? Does anyone remember why Sodom is such a significant place, or why Abraham decided to intercede or plead on Sodom's behalf, that city?
His nephew.
Yes, his nephew Lot lived there, so he was very concerned about if Lot was going to be safe, right? So he wanted to basically make a deal with God to spare the city if God found how many righteous people there?
One.
No, not one. It was 10. 10 righteous people, and God would spare. Yep, right here. Here he is, pleading for God to spare for 10. So, just to recap the whole story, there were 3 strangers that we come to find was God and his angels coming in human form, and Abraham was very hospitable to them, basically meaning that he cared for them, he tended to them, he fed them. He was very kind. And God told Abraham that he would have his son Isaac the following year. And Sarah laughed, and she was afraid about what people would think, and so she lied. She said, "I didn't laugh," but she did. But then his 2 angels went ahead to the city of Sodom, and Abraham pleaded to spare Sodom for Lot's sake. So we're just gonna hop right in. The topics that we're gonna cover today is Genesis chapter 19, Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed. So we're gonna see like what happened to those cities. So today I figured, it'll be beneficial just for some visual aid and to help the story along. So the Lord stopped, but the 2 angels continued on to the city. As the 2 angels came to Sodom, they saw Lot, Abraham's nephew, sitting by the gate. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed down his face to the ground. "My lords," he said, "please turn aside to your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night, and then go on your way early in the morning." "No," they answered, "we will spend the night in the square." He insisted so strongly that they did go with them and entered his house. He prepared a meal for them, baking bread without yeast, and they ate. So here we see Lot displaying the same hospitality that Abraham did, right? So just a little background on the city and the square where they found Lot. The gateway of the city was actually the meeting place for city officials and other men to discuss current events and, carry out business. So this was a place of authority and status where a person could see and be seen. So apparently, Lot had some type of important position in government, or was associated with people that did, but because the angels found him at the city gates. So this could allude to why Lot's status in Sodom was one of the reasons why he didn't want to leave in the first place, because he had a good life there. He was wealthy, he was well off, he was probably had a position in government. So that's what made him reluctant to leave. Continuing on, so Lot was kind to them, showing the same kind of hospitality that Abraham did. So this caused the angels to realize that Lot was not wicked like the other people living in the city. Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom, both young and old, surrounded the house. So here we have Lot telling them, "Hey, come in my house." And, he was being hospitable to them here. This is more than likely his daughter. And then here we see the men surrounding the house, right? So Okay, so the men of the city wanted to do wicked things to the angels. Lot went outside to meet them and shut the door behind him and said, "No, my friends, don't do this wicked thing. Don't do anything to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof." "Get out of our way," they replied. They kept bringing pressure on Lot and moved forward to break down the door. So these men were persistent. The men inside, so the angels, reached out and pulled Lot back into the house and shut the door. Then they struck the men who were at the door of the house, young and old, with blindness, so that they could not find the door. So here they're walking around all blind because the angels struck them. The two men said to Lot, "Do you have anyone else here, sons-in-laws, sons or daughters, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of here, because we're going to destroy this place. The outcry to the Lord against his people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it." So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-laws who were pledged to marry his daughters. He said, "Hurry and get out of this place, because the Lord is about to destroy the city." But his sons-in-laws thought he was joking. Now, Lot wanted to save them too, but they just laughed at him because they didn't believe anything would happen to them. So just a little more background. Lot lived in this place so long that, he was contended among ungodly people, making him no longer a believable witness. So basically, he was around these wicked people so long that they didn't really believe anything that he said. So he had allowed his culture, Sodom, to shape him rather than shaping his culture, right? So it was vice versa. So instead of him being a light in that city, he let the city kind of overtake him. And I just want to challenge everyone today, like, do those who see you, do they see you as a witness for God, or are you just a part of the crowd blending in unnoticed like Lot was? So Lot had compromised to the point that he was almost useless to God. When he finally made a stand, nobody listened. So when he tried to help his sons-in-law, just trying to get them out of there, no one listened because he was just a part of the crowd. Like, why would his word be worthy, right? So, nobody listened. So have you too become useless to God because you were shaped by your own culture? To make a difference, you must first decide to be different in your faith and your conduct. So it's very important that when we go out into the world and when we, interact with people, that we're different, we're set apart. People know off the bat that we're different, that we are called by God, right? So it's very important how you conduct yourselves around other people. Verse 15, with the coming of the dawn, the angels urged Lot, saying, "Hurry, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, or you will be swept away when the city is punished." When he hesitated, meaning Lot, the angels grasped his hands and the hands of his wife and of his 2 daughters and led them safely outside the city. The Lord was merciful to them. So Lot hesitated, right? So the angels had to grab him and pretty much rush him out of the city. So Lot probably didn't want to abandon his wealth, his position, and the comfort that he enjoyed in Sodom. So it's easy for us to criticize Lot for being hypnotized by Sodom when the choices seem clear to us from the outside looking in. But to be wiser than Lot, we must see that our hesitation to follow may stem from the false attractions of our culture's pleasures. So when God takes you by the hand and his leading is crystal clear, don't hesitate. If God is trying to pull you in a different direction, or he's trying to lead you to a better place for your own safety, for your own protection, for your own good, and to fulfill your purpose, we have to follow him. We can't just stay in our comfort zones, because a lot of times growth and comfort don't really go together. Sometimes you have to suffer. Sometimes you have to endure through trials to grow. So I just wanted to throw that little nugget in there. The angels warned them that they must not look back to see what was happening to the city. They must run as fast as they could to get away. So here we see them running away from the city and them trying to get away. So they ran to a small city named Zoar, right? And as the sun rose over the land, the Lord sent burning fire over Sodom and Gomorrah. It came down like rain on the city, and he destroyed all the cities of the plain. As the fire rose and the smoke filled the air, Lot's wife looked back toward Sodom, right? She did not listen to the words of the angels. So since she disobeyed, she was turned into a pillar of salt. So we have her right here turning back as they're running away, and she turned into a pillar of salt. Lot's wife turned back to look at the smoldering city of Sodom. Basically, she was clinging to the past. She was unwilling to turn away completely. Are you looking back, longing at sinful pleasures and relationships while trying to move forward with God? You can't make progress with God as you are holding onto pieces of your old life. Jesus said it this way, according to Matthew 6, verse 24. No one can serve two masters. You will love one and hate the other. So as God is leading us to our new lives, because we are new in Christ, we can't try to hold on to, little fragments or pieces of our old lives, because we can't do both. We can't be hot and cold. We can't be in and out. We can't be tiptoeing. You can't be like flirting around with the idea of being saved, but still want to, mingle in, your old ways. So basically, this unfortunately happened to Lot's wife because she wasn't willing to leave everything she knew and loved. Verse 27. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and returned to the place where he stood before the Lord. He looked down toward Sodom and Gomorrah, toward all the land of the plain, and he saw the dense smoke rising from the land, like smoke from a furnace. So when God destroyed the cities of the plain, he remembered Abraham, and he brought Lot out of the catastrophe that overthrew the cities where Lot had lived. Catastrophe just means destruction, basically. It's just like a large destruction or disorder or dismay. So we see Abraham looking at the cities being destroyed. So, yeah, that basically wraps up the story. Now it's time for Kahoot. So, you guys already know the drill. 10 people can be on at once. If you are joining, with more than one person or something of that nature, you want to share. And basically. So yeah, the code is going to be displayed, and then you can log in from your phones or your tablets or anything like that. And we got me, we got Love, we got S Fam in the building. We got Bish, we got M and C. So as everyone's coming in, I just wanted to emphasize one point. Basically, the reason why God decided to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah is because the sin was just so great in there, and they just refused to repent, that God had no choice but to destroy it. And a lot of people will argue stuff like, well, why would a loving God do something like that, right? But it's like this, because God is love, how can God be a God of love if he doesn't also hate something, right? So it's like whatever you love means whatever you hate disrupts, distorts, or disregards what you love. For example, if you love children, if you love life, and if you love human dignity, then you would hate things like abortion and death and racism. So because God is love and he's holy and he's righteous, that means that he'll have to basically get rid of all of the things that are evil in the world. So it's like, it's kind of like our justice system, right? So if we had a justice system that never executed justice, then we would think it's not good, right? We would conclude that the justice system that's like that, that doesn't punish people for stealing or killing or murder, that it's not a good justice system, right? So it's the same thing with God. He's a just God, so he has to punish or judge all wrongdoings, no matter how big or small. So I just wanted to pinpoint that. A lot of times we can question the sovereignty of God, but it's like we don't know, you know, how sinful we are in reality. So I just wanted to bring that up. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So Sodom and Gomorrah. Number 1, where did the 2 angels find Lot as they entered the city? Very good, sitting by the gate. All right, we're off to a good start. Number 2, when Lot saw the angels, what did he do? Very good. He showed them hospitality. He fed them. He gave them drink. He gave them, you know, he washed their feet, all of that good stuff. Number 3, true or false? Lot was not kind to the angels. Very good. False. He was very kind to the angels. He showed hospitality. He brought them into his house. He gave them food. That's pretty kind.
Mama, I told you, speed.
Alright, so why did Lot try to protect the angels? Very good. The men of the city tried to do wicked things to them. All right. Got love in the lead so far. True or false? The angel struck the men, both young and old, with blindness so that they could not find the door. Yes, true. That's exactly what happened. We got love still in the lead. It's still anybody's game. All right. What happened when Lot tried to warn his sons-in-law? What did they do? Very good. They laughed at him. They said, haha, nothing will happen. But then they died. Sorry. The irony. Double the points. The angels urged Lot, saying, hurry, take your blank and your blank, or you will be swept away when the city is punished. Please pay attention to this one. It's a little tricky. Well, I gave more time so that you could read it carefully. Yeah, got some of y'all. His wife and 2 daughters. He didn't have more than one wife. Ooh, that's fam. They coming up. Love still in the lead though. True or false? When Lot hesitated, the angels grasped his hand, his wife's hand, and his 2 daughters' hand. Very good. True. They did do that. It was taking too long. He had to get them out the city. Number 9. What did the angels warn them not to do? Very good. Do not look back at the city. Wow, love is being undefeated right now. Come on, you guys, step it on up. Gotta answer these questions faster. Who looked back? Very good, his wife. His wife indeed looked back. I guess Love's about to take this one. But it's still anyone's game. What happened to Lot's wife when she looked back? What happened to her? Very good. She turned to a pillar of salt. Not stone, not fire, not sand, but salt. Ooh, me coming up. All right, guys, I think this is the last question. Double the points. Move them fingers. No, I didn't read it. Sorry. What were the names of the cities that were destroyed? Yes, Sodom and Gomorrah. Look at you guys. Y'all know how to spell. Very good. All right, so let's see. In third place, we have Bish. In second, we got S-Film. And number one, the one and only Love. Woo! Thank you for everyone for participating. I enjoyed the game as usual. And I hope you guys learned something, you know? That's my only prayer, that you guys learn things, you know, moving forward. Yeah, I just hope that everyone learned something, and to the honor and glory of his name.